and I'm really excited. Mindy from California. Awesome. Mindy from Cal. Is that your name, Mindy? You go by Mindy? Okay. It's like, your name's Melinda. You just changed. You just changed it. So, okay, perfect. Okay. Where are you from in California? Mel's guest. Is she local to you, Melissa? Yeah. Okay, awesome. I'm down in San Diego. Tell us where you're from, everyone, in the chat. I know we span in all different states around here, so that's super fun. Oh, we have a Stacy coming in. Oh, Mindy, where are you from? I saw you unmuted.
Fremont.
Fremont. Awesome. Okay. Danette in Texas. Jen, newly in Oregon. I love that. Let's see. I know Jeannie's in Texas as well. So is Stacy. I don't know why I never put it together that you're in Fort Worth, which is very exciting since we're going there for seminar. So that's super cool. Okay. Kim, welcome on. All right. Well, ladies, we're going to get to do a glow in 10 minutes look today. And I'm pretty excited about it because I've been using it myself. And we're transitioning from this winter, cold, dehydrated, different look. You know, winter, we're normally using darker colors and we're playing with darker lipsticks. And so spring is about warming everything up, lightening everything up to look just fresh, right? And maybe we've lost some color in the skin over winter time. I know my friend the other day saw me in a dress and said, "Oh my gosh, please use some tanning lotion. You're so pale right now." So we can do that in the face as well. So we're going to go over a simple look today to be able to do that and kind of walk you through some of the differences of bronzer and things like that. So I'm going to start though with my base. And you know what? Before I do that, y'all need to text something because I want to make sure you get prizes. So Melissa, can you pull up that prize thing for them to text so that they get that? I'm almost just jumping in. So consultants or guests, make sure you text it because you'll get all the pictures that we're showing tonight. And you'll get entered to also win the contour kit as well. So you're going to text the word beauty. Oops. Yes, no. Can you put, hold on. She's putting it back. It's coming. But you're going to text whatever word is there when she puts it up to my number. But make sure that you don't do emojis. Make sure that you don't put your name. Make sure you don't put any quotation marks or it will not work. Okay. So that's the word beauty to 619-202-8225. Just text that, give it about 60 seconds. And then you're going to be able to have a link that comes through that you can it'll enter you in to get stuff, okay? So if you already text it, oh, she needed to turn it on, probably. So if you did text it, do it one more time. But if you've done it, I don't know after what timing, I guess after 5:04. All righty, so we'll get you in for that. Okay, so I'm gonna start with primer. I think that even if we're doing a very simple look, no matter what I'm doing with foundation to any degree, primer is going to go on my face, especially as we're getting into the hotter season. This is going to help it to stay on. It also has an SPF 15 in it. It's also going to fill in any of the fine lines and cracks and things like that so our foundation looks smoother. This is a silicone-based primer. It's super silky, super smooth. So we're just going to put a nice coat of that all over the face. It's just clear. And so just imagine that this is like a magnet to help our foundation to hold and to stay on, okay? So as I'm doing this, I would love to know, as you're moving into the new season, whether it has to do with bronzer or a quick makeup look, or just maybe something that you're excited to get out of from winter, what's the biggest thing that you'd love to learn with makeup? And so we can put that in the comments. I'm going to go in now with our new multi-benefit concealer. A little trick if you have this or have tested it, it is very hydrating, which is fantastic. So it's not going to crease. So what I do before I pull it out and the cap is on, I actually hit it like this on the back of my hand. Or if this was the table, I do it like that really hard because there's some if you were to just do it right away, sometimes you'll see almost like an oil come out of it. It's just all the hydrating pieces. So if you do that, kind of connects everything together, and see how it just comes out really nice and connected like that. So if you're used to using this, that's just a little trick so you can see that, okay? And so I like to always put everything on the back of my hand like this, and we're just going to use the finger. And I just want to make sure to brighten. You know what? I am on grid view and I need to be able to see myself like a mirror. So give me a second to put myself up on spotlight. Okay. Right in here, right in here. Okay. So I'm not going all the way underneath. I'm just focusing on that inner corner and the outside. So we're not caking underneath here. You could just do that to brighten the eye. I'll show you how we're going to blend it in a second. I don't like to waste product. So if I have anything extra, of course, I'm going to go in and maybe cover over any imperfection like that freckle, or I like to maybe even go in the nose creases right here where we tend to get a little bit red. Okay. And then like I have like a little bit extra. So I'm just going to go into my chin right now. That just kind of looks a little bit red as well. So then I'm going to take my liquid foundation brush. You can use our concealer brush, but if we're just keeping it really simple of needing as little as possible, I'm just kind of blotting this underneath, and I'm just then fanning it out so it just all blends. And any excess, I'm just going ahead and putting it on my lid so we have an even base. So see how that immediately just brightened everything up. I'm just going to come in here. I cut myself really bad, so excuse the cut. And then we're just going to press it in. If you notice, a lot of the time when I'll be blending things with foundation, I'm pressing into my skin instead of pushing and blending. Okay. So the reason is that this is packing it in. It's not lifting the product up. But then once I have it to a blended more section, see how this isn't fully blended yet? Now I'll just do little strokes on the outsides, and that's where I'll then blend it in everywhere else. So that way it looks smooth and seamless. Just going to use my finger just to melt that little area in there, right there. Okay. So same thing here. It might look like I'm swiping. I'm just very quickly more so stippling. All right. So already, boom, that has brightened up the face. Let me really quick look at some of the things that you wanted to learn. I have dry, blotchy, and crepey skin. Okay. So that's definitely hard, right? So we need to get the base good with skincare, kind of restore it with skincare, but then we're going to really use some hydrating things in our foundation. And so the CC cream that we're going to use today is fantastic for that, because it's going to be hydrating and moisturizing and not giving more of a dry effect. Wanting to learn more about bronzer, Stacy says learn it all. Okay, so we're going to be doing the CC cream today. This comes in 5 shades. You can literally put this on with your fingers if you wanted to. It stands for complexion corrector. So it's evening out redness in your skin while also being a little bit of a moisturizer, while also being a little bit of a tinted foundation. And then it's actually helping heal your skin and almost be like a skincare in it, okay? And it also has SPF 15 in it. So you're getting all the things done in this. It has a little pump container that makes it really easy. So again, I'm always using the back of my hand. You don't have to, if you could do it directly on your face, but as my little palette. And like Melissa said in the chat, just make sure that you fill out that link or you text the word beauty to that number, because everyone, consultants and guests, you will get entered to win the contour kit giveaway. Okay. So we're going to put this here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and take my brush, probably going to need more than that, but I'm just going to dot and disperse the product. Is it safe to also call a tinted sunscreen? So there are like tinted sunscreens, but I noticed that when those are that, they don't have nearly as much coverage as these do. Those tend to be a lot more sheer. So same, that was like more in the BB cream. If anyone's ever heard of BB cream, that's more like that, where the CC cream has so much more than sunscreen because it has healing properties. It has moisturizer. It has so many, it has like 8 different benefits. So, if you really want my way I describe it to people that's not professional, I'm like, it's like a tinted moisturizer on steroids that does way more stuff. Okay. So see, we're just blotting this in. This is evening out all redness. It's super lightweight. It's super hydrating. It's buildable. If you are more of a full coverage girly, this is great for the days where you're maybe just running some errands, going to the gym, going to the beach. If you're a lightweight foundation user, maybe this is just the sunscreen that you use. I also love to blend with our regular foundations as well if I want kind of like a semi-matte look. So we're just going ahead and notice like that. So once it's almost dry, then I can end in downward motions. Always end in a downward motion down the face, because we have peach fuzz, whether we like to say it or not. We need all that to go back and lay down. Okay, so today I'm just going to be using our translucent powder. This is great for any skin tone. And what it's going to do is just help set the foundation. You'll see that I have a little bit of a luminosity there. You can totally leave that because that's all the rage. But for me during the day of the natural oils I'm going to produce, I need to mattify it a bit. But for those of you who say, oh, but I have really dry skin, I don't want to use any kind of powder. What I want you to know about this translucent, and I have used it on all age ranges, it is very, very fine and just melts into the skin, and it does not make it feel dry. It's going to more so set your foundation, okay? So that way it's not moving. So I'm going to just go ahead and I just kind of tap it into my lid here. And then I'm just going to press my powder brush into it. And I'm going to get off the excess a little bit. I'm just going to try to get it even there like that. And then I'm just going to come in here. And again, I'm pressing it into the skin. Notice how that just took away the shine on the forehead, made it look really smooth. It's giving this airbrush finish. Now really look in this area. You can even kind of see my pores a little bit. Look at this. See how it kind of really helps make all that go away. It's going to also make your concealer and all of those things to help it to not crease. So I'm just really packing it in there. But again, you cannot feel it because it's very finely milled. So it doesn't feel cakey or heavy or dehydrating. Now, if you wanted more coverage, because CC cream is a little bit more lightweight, you could do our silky setting powder instead that actually has a tint to it. And those are also very hydrating as well. So just finishing this off, and you're going to see this brush today be used multiple times. I absolutely love this brush. There's so many uses. So you really want a nice all over dense powder brush. Okay. So if we had anybody that went ahead and filled out that form, as I'm letting my foundation sit, because I'm not going to do too much focus on my brows today since I'm trying to do a quick look, but I need to put them on because I need brows on. Actually, I could probably just do my tint one there. Let's go ahead and give away a gift though. So Melissa, let's go ahead and pull that up and we'll give away something fun. I just noticed I got really sunburned today out at the ranch. Okay, go ahead. Donette, congratulations. Tell me, do you want product or do you want a business tool or prize since you are a consultant? So go ahead and put that in the chat. And since I'm just doing a quick look today, I guess I will show you some brows. But see, my brows are very light. Surprise, I'm a natural blonde and I've been dark for a really long time, so you don't know it. So my brows are really, really light. So I'm going to come in here with our brow tint. And this is just so easy because it comes in 4 different colors. And I'm just pulling it over the hairs. So the point of this is to like control those hairs or help fill them in and volumize them. If you have really thin brows or if you have unruly brows, keep them in place. But look at how that just a little bit, just boom, gave me a brow so fast. So that comes in blonde, it comes in dark brunette. It comes in, this is brunette that I'm using right now, and it comes in dark blonde. So we have 4 different colors. A little trick to using this though, it's very important, is when I put the product in there, see how when I pull it out, it can have a lot of product on there. I take it and go like this and roll off the excess as much as I can. And I did that down here before I had done each one, and it still puts that much product. So that's going to allow your hairs to just stick to the bristles, because if it's really thicker product, it could almost connect to look like paint. And I don't want it to look like that, right? Where this is just grabbing little hairs and helping volumize it and giving it that color, okay? I'm dark-haired, tan skin tone. What color do you recommend I use? You, with how cool toned your hair is, Jen, I would use the dark brunette for you. Yeah. So you'll notice I could show colors of this, but the brunette I'm using right now is a little bit more of a warmer tone brown, where the dark brunette is a much cooler tone brown. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go into bronzer. And yeah, questions like that consultants or guests you have in the chat about any kind of colors or suggestions for you, feel free to ask, because it's not a huge group. So I can totally do that tonight. So we're going to go into bronzer. Bronzer is a little bit different than contour. You can use both, okay? But I'm going to show you a picture difference of what is what. So bronzer is specifically meant for warmth and glow to the skin, giving you that sun-kissed look. Again, I'm pasty white right now, so we want to give some warmth. It's going to upgrade that foundation look. Notice the placement here. This is going to be going in the forehead area, more in the center or the temples. It's going to be going more straight on the cheekbones, maybe even the tip of the nose, and maybe even a little bit on the chin, directly on the chin. You can also use this because it's got a beautiful shimmer. I use it as eyeshadow sometimes, so that's great, and it's beautiful on the eyes. Now notice with contour, it's a lot more structure. This is a lot more shape and defining the face. So that way you're actually giving bone structure, or you're really helping to get rid of a double chin, or you're helping to not make your forehead look so big. So that's going to be more structured around the outside of the hairline, really focusing in on underneath the cheekbone. I don't know why these lines are up here. Ignore that one. Look at this bottom one. That's the correct one, okay? I think it's just showing like in that section under there. And then also right in the jawline, right on that edge of the bone, that's going to be there. And you can, of course, go down the sides of the nose as well. Now, contour is typically matte. It is not a shimmer like this. So that way you're really defining. Yes, you can get those two graphics for sure. I'll just remind me to stay on after, and I'll put them into the chat, or I can send them to you. Now this comes in two different colors. So this is the medium glow that I'm going to be using today. And this is the deep glow for a deeper skin tone color. Okay, so I'll swatch them really quick since today's focused on being a bronzed beauty. So you can see these side by side. And you'll notice the medium glow is a little bit more neutral. The deep glow is a little bit warmer here, a little bit more gold in there. Let me swatch both on my hand. Medium glow, deep glow. You can really see it there instead, okay? So this is gonna be for ivory to beige skin tones. This is gonna be for beige to deep skin tones with that one. Product, please, thank you. Tell me, Jonette, what do you mean by that? Just so I can, and then can you please show us with a blonde model? Blonde model, you mean for the bronzer or for eyebrows? Either way, for the bronzer, whether you're dark haired or both. Okay, so with eyebrows, I can pull up pictures of eyebrows when we're done. Just remind me as far as the colors. But with bronzer, bronzer doesn't go by your hair color as much as it goes by the skin tone of you. So that's where this one we're going to be using today. If you're blonde, you're probably a little, I can tell what skin you have. You're lighter toned. We would use this color, okay? So we're going to come in here with the big powder brush. And I'm just going to tap it into there. And maybe I'm going to do this. Just always do this when you're going to be careful like this. Just a little tap to let any excess off. And for me, I'm going to focus it in little, see when I'm doing circles? Because I'm blending now. I need it to look soft. So that's when we're going into circles, okay? Like that. Oh, the gift. I get it, don't it? It was totally off on something else. I'm like, what are you talking about? I understand. Okay. And then we're going to go over here. I'm going into my temples area. Okay. For my face shape, see how that automatically gave some warmth in there. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little bit and I'm going to go into the whole cheek area. There's a lot more wiggle room of where you can use bronzer lightly versus contour that needs to be specific of where it goes. Again, I'm going in these circular motions to help really blend it and to make it look soft. And then I'll do a little bit on my chin. Now I kind of got it concentrated right there. So if that happens, I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to wipe it off of all the excess product. And then I'm going to lightly go back over that area to blend it a little bit more so it doesn't look too dark. If it's still, I'm not super happy with like how much I put right there. So I might even go in a little bit with my liquid foundation brush and just any little barely excess that I had from my CC cream, I might just go tap it over just to calm it down in that one little area. So see how you can kind of just like fix it real fast like that, okay? So already warmth, like don't look like a ghost anymore. We're getting warmth back into the skin. And now we want to add some cheek color because, you know, I had someone tell me this the other day, like I already have red tones and under my skin. And I'm like, okay, but cheeks color makes it look intentional and in the right placement. And it can sometimes correct the red undertones to a better color that is, you know, maybe more conducive to make your skin look more even. So I'm going to go ahead and take the cheek brush here. And I love our little palettes like this because you can have a little palette. These are magnetic. And so I could put my bronzer here. I could put a blush. I could put a highlight. I have 2 blushes in here right now. I could put eyeshadows in here. So many different ways that you can customize this. So I'm just going to kind of dip into both of my blushes to blend the color. Smile, apples of the cheeks. Look at the brow. About right here. I'm going to put on my blush and push it back into my hairline. So we're keeping that blush high and that's lifting the cheekbone up. If you're wanting that look, if you are wanting more of that rosy cheek right here, but you have to be careful because with more mature skin, this area starts to lose volume. So when we smile, it might look right here, but then as soon as we stop smiling, it droops down and it's down here. So that's where you have to be really careful. And that's why if maybe more mature skin, we want to do it up in this way because it's lifting. Okay. So the other way, just so you can see how it changes the face shape, is if I'm doing it right in my cheek area like this is going to give a rounder effect, but also pulls the face down versus this pulling the face up. Do you see that difference just with blush right there? Okay. I still always, no matter which way, put a little bit of like 2 fingers between the nose because if we get blush really close, I don't know. I know it's a trend now to put blush on your nose, but I guess I still come from the place where I think that it makes you look like you rubbed your nose all day. So we're going to do that. Now, again, with this beautiful brush and a little bit of translucent powder, if we feel like we needed to blend the blush a little bit more, like for me, I'm seeing in here, doesn't look super blended. I'm going to just come in here with my powder brush and just slightly go over it. And do you see how that just softened all of that up in that area? What do you recommend for people who have big fat cheeks like me? You definitely want to keep it up in this area. We want to be snatching up into here. So we're going from that brow area. You can also look at it as a V where you're taking right there, the brow, and then you're putting it only in this section and you're pulling up if you're trying to get that kind of face lifted look. Okay. So, which you don't have big fat cheeks. I just read that comment and moved on. Okay. All right. Okay. So now we are going to let's give away one more prize before we go into eyes. So let's give one more prize away. I know, Melissa, you're grabbing that. Perfect. Stacy. Okay, comment if you want product or if you want a prize, like a business tool or jewelry. Like, so just put like product or business consultant stuff. Okay. All right. So we want our quick dash out the door. Obviously, this will take way faster if I'm not stopping and explaining and showing different sides. So I'm just kind of taking my time with you guys today. So ignore the timing. But this is so amazing for your dash out the door look, which is our shimmer eyeshadow sticks. And so I'm just going to use one color today. That's it. And I do have fake lashes on, but all I'm going to do is just swipe this across my lid. See where I'm concentrating it right here towards the bottom. Then I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to come in and blend it out up the rest. Now, blending it is important, not just because obviously like moving it up and like having it look soft, but it presses and melts it into the skin to not have that creasing, and then it's drying and then it's setting. Okay. So also a little idea too, just put a little nudge right in this inner corner as well. This brightens up the eye. Do you see how this eye looks brighter than this one just because we put a little teeny bit right there? Crazy. Okay. You could do two colors. You could get crazy. You could take some of the bronzer if you wanted to and do a little like, you know, outside part there and give it some depth. But this is our dash out the door. Okay. So this is to show you like I could literally swipe on a stick. I don't need a brush. I could do this in my car. Use my finger. Don't even have to look at myself. And boom, I've brightened up my eyelid and made it look a little fun and shimmery, and then pop on some mascara. Okay. So, and again, we're just going to come in where we're just maybe not blending that as much. And we're just giving just that little bit of pop right there. Okay. So these come in 5 different shades. I love this color is Golden Sunrise. So this for lighters, it works for any skin tone. This is just an easy, you don't have to think about it, just blends in, just gives you a little shimmer, but there's a lot of beautiful colors. And then we're going to come in on the bottom. And I love our Great Heights mascara. It gives you 3 times the length. So I'm going to do this on my bottom since I have falsies on top. And you're going to see I'm going to do 1 coat. Then I'm going to stop and I'm going to come over here to do the other side. So that way we're drying a little bit in between. I need to grab a little bit more and probably open a new one for myself too. So where you're going to see 3 times the length is on the 3rd coat. Okay. So I stop, I give it a second. What I love about this wand is it's separating everything, but the curving action is helping to lengthen. And then I'm just going to come in here and layer. I don't want it completely dry. I just don't want it wet so that it doesn't clump together. And so we can notice that's already getting longer. And then we'll come in here. I'll just do 2 coats for right now for my bottom lashes. This also comes in waterproof, and we have like 7 other mascaras. Okay. But really gives a lot of length for just those bottom ones that are really tiny and blonde, right? Okay. So, and I have really sensitive eyes. So what I really love, you guys, is that all of our mascaras are ophthalmologist approved so that they're going to be really great for the eye area. All right. So our last piece to this dash out the door glow is we're going to do a quick lip liner and lip gloss. Now you could just throw on a lip gloss. You could just throw on one of our hydrating lip balms, but we have our new, look at me getting mascara on myself. Don't even know how it happened. Okay. So if you think, gosh, I don't know how it got on my face, in my bathroom, I don't know how this happened either. Okay. So this is our new lilac color that I've loved doing a look with our mauve nude lip liner. And why I love a lip liner with a lip gloss is because I can give a stain effect to my lip that then it kind of has a little bit more pigment. I don't have to be committed to a lipstick because these are waterproof. And then just throughout the day, I can just add a little gloss on and it still has a great pigment. It's not going out. So we're going to just kind of do this outside right here. Where I'm creating the bottom. I'm not going all the way to the edges to keep it fuller, but then I'm just kind of feathering it out because I want to be able to have a little bit more pigment to my lip. This is mauve nude. It's my favorite. Okay, then we're going to go on the outside and come in. Outside and come in. That keeps your Cupid bow even. So if you go in one fell swoop, one is always going to be a little bit more slanted. So that's why you're going to watch me go outside in. And then we're going to feather in a little bit. Really light, just coloring it in slightly. Blend together. Already gives color, right? It's going to help stain them with that waterproof, and then come in with that lilac because it's very sheer, this one. And it's just going to give like that beautiful little glow. Okay. Now, another fun combo, and I know I don't have it with me right now, would be like beige nude with beach bronze. If you're wanting to go more of that like glowy beachy color, with that instead. So many different combos that you can do, but I love adding that lip liner to get it. So, all right, what do you guys prefer? Do you prefer blush higher on the cheekbone or on the cheek, or do you not notice? And how do you feel about being able to achieve this look skill-wise? Do you feel like it feels pretty easy to duplicate? Higher on the cheekbone, Jen says. I'm going to see you soon. We can practice. She said, yeah, please. Trying it tomorrow. Yay. Blush higher on the cheekbone. Love it. Okay. You guys can keep putting that in the comments. All right. Let's give away one more. This is perfect. I always have makeup questions. Yay. Let's give away one more prize, and then I'll share just a little bit about some fun promos going on this month, and then we'll go over the sets of everything that we used tonight. The 80s are coming back, Mindy. Okay, I'll have to watch so many more times to do it. Stacey's on fire. Okay. So whatever you chose, just put in the chat again, whatever you want. Okay. Product or prize. Okay, so let's go over some of the sets that we just did for products, since it's fresh in your mind of what I just used. And then you're going to be getting a survey pretty quickly here too to get your feedback. And so you're going to want to make sure to fill that out as well to be put in for some extra times with the contour kit giveaway. What I'm going to probably be doing is giving away the compact, a bronzer of your choice, and then you can choose a blush or a highlight to go in it. Okay. So super fun. Consultant tool. Love it. Okay. So our first little set here is the foundation set. And so this is going to be perfect to set your flawless face. So you can have a CC cream, a powder brush, and the translucent powder. So these are all at 15% off for tonight. So this would be $49, and then you're going to save $9 when you get it as a set. Of course, consultants, you're going to get it at your big discount for being a consultant. Dash out the door. This is going to be all of the color that you need to be your main makeup tools to do a very quick look. So that's going to be choosing your color of an eyeshadow stick, your blush color. It could be substituted for a highlighter if you prefer that, your bronzer, mascara, and lip liner, and a lip gloss. So with that one, it's $90, and you're going to save $16 when you get that as a set. And then I know that there's going to be the women who are like, I need a whole new look. I need the whole face. So with that, you can get it all together at once. That's going to be that bronzed beauty bundle where you're going to get everything we just talked about for $139, and you save $25. Just a couple of things, by the way, that I didn't include in this because I was trying to keep it really basic, but I did use today. So I don't want to like confuse you if you're like, what? She used that. Concealer and primer if you're making a wish list, and brow tint, and a cheek brush. We're not in there today. So if those are things that you're like, make sure you write those down, and those can be some add-ons. Okay. All right. Me and ChatGPT were fighting. I'm like, he's like, simplify, because I'm a big makeup user. I'm like, okay. All right. So, all right, ladies, guess what? You might be a consultant, you might be a guest, but it is only $10 this month to start a Mary Kay business. And that is absolutely wild because normally it is $125 to $35 to start a Mary Kay business, depending on what starter kit you give. And I just want you to blow up the chat, consultant or guest. What is the last thing that you spent $10 on? Probably over, but like $10, didn't even think about like, what's the last thing that you just spent $10 on? So as you put that in there, I'll just share a little bit of my story and socks. I love it. So you guys, I started this business 14 years ago. I was 22 years old when I started, and I had really, really bad skin. And I was very, very hesitant to try the product because I thought it was for my grandma and I wanted nothing to do with it. And I had severe acne and I used to have to get shots in my face. And with all of that, I didn't feel like I was in a position to tell people about skincare, even though I was in the beauty industry, because I felt so ashamed and so nervous of my skin. So I was just introduced to it as a product. I tried the product for about a month, saw my skin transform. Like, you guys, I had been to dermatologists, I had been to estheticians, I was getting professional microdermabrasions, I was doing all the things, spending all the money, and nothing was making a switch. And so something I love about having a beauty consultant, and I'm working with a couple of my own clients right now, is that they have someone assigned to them to help them walk through those skincare concerns and really tweak and be assigned to that for you versus guessing from a shelf with so many things. Or honestly, dermatologists, they don't really know a lot about skincare, to be honest. They're just telling you to use something that they think is safe and isn't going to cause any problems. All right. But they're not really doing what's going to enhance or be long term. So, anyways, for me, I was like, 50% off. Sure. I don't want to pay full price. Like, do the girl math. I get it. I don't know if I'm going to do this as a business, but I will take the discount. Well, I ended up deciding to share the product with people in that first month. And in about 10 hours, I was able to profit an extra $1,000 with just sharing the product. And I thought to myself, if I got a little bit more intentional and I actually decided to try, what could I do with this? And you guys, when we have a job, you are typically trading your physical body and your time for income. So for me, I was a hairdresser. So that required me to be standing behind a client I was doing color corrections. Who knows how long we were going to be doing that? 4, 5, 6, 8 hours, right? And I was only making money if I was behind her. So if I needed to travel, or if one day I wasn't pregnant, then have my son, homeschool him, I wouldn't have the freedom and the flexibility because I could only make money if I was there. Same thing with our regular jobs that we clock in and clock out. We're also capped at the amount of time that we can work. So what I started to see with Mary Kay was these women are washing their faces every day, going down the drain. So the time I spent with somebody months or weeks ago is continuing to pay me over and over and over again because it's a consumable product. So that means my reorders and my income is going up, but my time isn't, because she's just sending me a text or she's ordering on my website to reorder. And so I really liked that idea. And then I also really liked the idea of team building, because I want you guys to think and put it in the chat. Have you ever been at a job where you've been there long enough that they asked you to train new employees or to help somebody new? And you spent a lot of time and you explained a lot of things and you helped them a lot. Could you imagine that for all those people you helped there, that company decided to pay you a commission on how well that person did for as long as they stayed employed to that company? Well, that's what Mary Kay does. So when we add a team member and we share this experience with them, Mary Kay says, thank you so much for sharing. We're going to give you a commission on whatever she orders for herself or for her customers, as long as she stays in the business with you. And so I've had some team members, you guys, I was writing out anniversary cards to them I started 14 years ago, that have been around 11, 12 years, that are still ordering every single month, and that Mary Kay is still giving me a paycheck on every single month. That doesn't take time or energy. But the biggest gift of that is, they say when you find a job, you want to find something that allows you to get fulfillment because you get to contribute to others. And so with this, there's no greater joy than when I get to watch a woman have extra income to pay off debt, or to go save towards her wedding, or put a down payment on her house, or create a really cool experience for her children. And so that gives it that mission piece that brings that inner joy. And so if you are looking for something that you want to be able to personally grow this year in your confidence, your self-esteem, your time management, your money management, and have a mentor assigned to you that says, hey, I've already done this. I'm going to give you the blueprint of how to do it. I'm going to help you every step of the way. And when you have a day where you don't believe in yourself, don't worry. I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. Then this might be something to try for $10. Okay. So don't overthink it. All right. Let's go ahead and fill out that link. As you're doing that, that last link is, I'll go ahead and show the starter kit options, but just make sure you fill that out so we can give away our last little set here of the contour kit. So I don't know exactly what it said because Melissa did it, but it's going to be, I think, give us your opinion or something like that, right? Oh, and we have a signing bonus. Let me show you that after this. So if you're the girl who says, oh my gosh, I love a deal, then you probably would want the eStart Plus Pro Start because you do get over $400 worth of full-size products. You do get the entire skincare system. You would get the CC cream we use today, our charcoal mask, our mascara, our microdermabrasion, all the sales toys. It's a super cute bag, plus a website. So that's $125. And you get all the things listed here. It's wild. But the eStart this month is what is $10. So I guess this is actually cheaper too, because it's like you get your eStart, it's 10, and then you add on the Pro Start for 90. So I guess the whole thing is only 100, and I need to really change this. Okay. But the eStart's like a Costco membership. It at least allows you to be a member and get a great savings and be able to work it as a business as well. So those are the two options too. So Melissa, do we have, let's pull up that signing bonus real quick for this month because I don't have it on my computer. And then while you're doing that, I will also put into the chat the picture of bronzer and contour, and then we can give away that final kit. Awesome. So this is the signing bonus this tonight is our full-size satin hands. So if you are looking to have some silky, yummy, hydrated hands, feet, or elbows, you are going to love this 3-piece system that softens, exfoliates, and hydrates. So that's a $38 value. So again, do the girl math. You're getting $38 in product to only pay $10 to sign up. It's a pretty good deal. All right. So did you go ahead, Melissa, if we want to give away that contour kit? I'm still trying to figure out how to put the file here of the bronzer. We are figuring it out. Okay, she's pulling your names over. And then any final questions that you guys have, whether it's about the business or if you have any questions about makeup or anything left with that. But here's the bronzer picture. And let me do one more for the contour. So you can grab that out of the chat and save it. And then Melissa's going to spin that wheel. Okay, Jen, looks like you're getting a full makeover when you come to California. Okay, I love it. We'll have fun playing with that together. So you applied bronzer first and the blush on top of that. I did. I typically do, I don't know if it matters of the order, but I wanted all that warmth. If you notice, the bronzer is covering a larger scale. It's also, so I wanted that underneath, and then I brought the brightness on top right in here. Yeah. People do it all different ways though. So I don't know, but that's just how I did it. So yeah.
One more.
Learn something. Go ahead, Jen.
Sorry, one more.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what if you wanted to do contour? Would you do contour first, bronzer, and then blush?
I do contour first. So if we were doing contour for shaping, I would do my contour for first to create structure. And I would be doing that like, because it's very precise. So think about it. When I come in with this, I'm blending. So that's going to naturally blend some of the contour out. So I want to get some of that structure first. So, so do that and then blush. So contour, bronzer, then blush.
Got it. Thanks.
And then highlight would be last if you're doing that.
Right, highlight. See, there's just so much. My
You
goodness.
don't have to do any of it, but if you want to, that would be the order. Okay. All right, ladies. Well, have a beautiful night. Enjoy. Have fun practicing your looks. We always record these and we will put them up so consultants or guests will be able to send it to you so you can pause and watch and practice from home. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a good night.